For me, moving to the country was definitely an opportunity to appreciate the simple pleasures in life and cultivate appreciation for those things. I think it's really just evidence that the character of people back then was so incredibly different than today. I'm really grateful for the experience. Hey guys, it's Katie Kate on the Homestead. It is hot as heck here in the country, and I'm just taking a break from working outside today. I'm in the middle of an eaves trough job, and I've been working on that for the past few days, and today I'm just taking a break, and I'm going to be working mostly inside to get out of this heat. By now, you probably all know that we are experiencing a drought here. I just had my second shower for the week. We are on limited water consumption. We are peeing outside, showering every other day at most. I just washed my hair for the first time in a week because that obviously takes longer. It felt so good. And I have really just been appreciating all the simple pleasures in life right now. A lot of the things going on this summer have really caused me to reflect on how in the world people managed to live like this back in the day. It kind of started when we were digging the fence posts, and I was asking Scott, how in the world did they do this work before they had an excavator to dig the posts? And Scott said, pickaxe and shovel. I cannot imagine doing that job with those tools. A job that took us 2 days would be a job that would take an entire summer to complete. Can you imagine digging through that fieldstone with a pickaxe and a shovel to try to get 3 or 4 feet down to sink a post? When we were working on the well the other day, I got to asking Scott how in the world people dug wells back in the day. And he explained that that well would have been dug twice the size, down until they hit water. Then the walls would have been built like a puzzle, stacked on each other, packed on the outside, and the well would end up being half the size of the initial dug hole. Can you imagine the amount of time and effort something like that would take? Add to that, even finding water can be a challenge. After Scott's well was condemned, after his house fire, he had a well drilled, and they're drilling it, so they're using big machinery. They hit a vein, they found water, and then subsequently the vein closed, and now that well is defunct. Can you imagine trying to manually dig down and find water in the first place? It just baffles me how much effort and work that would take. It's definitely a different work ethic for physical labor back then. And what about experiencing something like a drought that's going on right now, with crops dying, no drinking water, having livestock, what in the world did people do? Scott said you'd go to the river and start toting back water in buckets. I just can't imagine. Right now, I'm definitely using some primitive strategies to get through this drought. I have a sink of wash water that I'm soaking dishes in before I wash them, and it's staying in the sink. Grateful for the fact that we're not taking sponge baths at this point, and that we can actually afford to have a shower every couple of days. Scott and I were also talking about how detrimental it might be if we don't have a wet fall and we head into winter with dry wells, because once the ground freezes, water's not going to be penetrating, and there is a possibility that people may be on water reserve for the entire winter. Hopefully that won't be the case, and we'll get a lot of rain in the fall before the snow comes. Hopefully we'll have a lot of snow this winter so that we can at least benefit from the runoff in the spring. Speaking of winter, I can't imagine having to hand cut and split all the wood required to heat a house. Scott and I have talked about why that's one of the reasons why the houses were built very small back in the day, simply because they were impossible to heat otherwise. Even Scott talks about being a kid, and when he was feeling sick in the winter, he and his brother would sleep on the floor in the kitchen in front of the wood stove. Then in the summer, when it's really hot and people had summer kitchens so they could cook outside because there was no central AC. There are other kind of interesting, quirky, fun things that Scott has told me about. Putting a chicken in your septic tank for the bacteria, the beneficial bacteria. Also, he told me that people would put a frog in their well because apparently frogs have some antiseptic quality to them. I was looking it up, and I actually found some articles on how in Russia they would put a frog in their milk to keep it fresh before they had refrigeration. It's really amazing to me, all of the creative things that people did and figured out how to survive without the modern conveniences that we experience today. I think it's really just evidence that the character of people back then was so incredibly different than today. I think they were definitely stronger and more resilient, likely more humble than anyone today. So if you're watching this today and you have plenty of running water and you can enjoy some air conditioning, I hope that you appreciate it, because I just had one of the best showers I've ever had in my life. For me, moving to the country was definitely an opportunity to appreciate the simple pleasures in life and cultivate appreciation for those things. I'm really grateful for the experience. Well, that's it for today, guys. Just feeling refreshed after a nice shower, enjoying having some clean hair, appreciating the simple things in life. Happy, healthy living. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, staying kind, and appreciating every small pleasure in life. I'm Katie Kate on the Homestead, and I'll see you later.